What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Yap MMA. Today we're going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 100, Magny versus Prates. Going to be starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Going to be giving you my prediction, my breakdown for every single fight. Then, yeah, let's get into the shit fight card, boys. Alright, starting off this event, we got Melissa Mullins versus Claudia Segula. Claudia Segula coming as the underdog, Melissa Mullins as the favorite. Understandably so. Claudia Segula, man, I was looking at some of her tape. I looked at a couple videos, and yeah, she's shit. She's really bad on the feet. If it does go to the ground, which I do think it will go to the ground, she does have a bit of an edge, but honestly, Melissa Mullins is very solid on the ground, and on the feet, she's definitely going to be the better striker. I'll show you guys a picture of Claudia Segula, because I don't know why they don't show it on the UFC site. But Segula is 6-1. Mullins is also 6-1. But Segula, she's just, man, she's not good. Like, if you look at her fights, if you actually watch her fights, sure, she's got some wins. All right, she's got some submission wins, she's got some knockout wins. But I just don't know how she was stringing together these wins. I watch these fights, and her striking is just nasty. Like, nasty stuff, and not the good kind of nasty, like, just like not nice to look at. She beat some absolute shitters. So the pick's gonna be Melissa Mullins. That's all I gotta say. I'm really gonna keep this card short and sweet. Horrible card. We're praying on Carlos Prates to pull this one together for us. We're praying on a nice nightmare TKO, to be honest. But yeah, pick's gonna be Melissa Mullins, probably by decision, let's be honest. So yeah, moving on to the next one, Trishan Gore versus Antonio Tricoli. Another one where I'm like, yo, Antonio Tricoli is an absolute bum. He's an absolute bum. Let's be honest. The only reason he is in the UFC is because of Mackenzie Dern. Without Dern, Tricoli would be long gone. 6'5". This dude is 6'5" with an insane reach, and he's got zero striking defense, zero striking capabilities, man. His striking's horrible. His wrestling's horrible. That fight against Magomedov was just horrendous to watch him. Like, it's like he didn't even want to put up a fight. He wanted to get knocked out. He seriously wanted to get knocked out. The pick's obviously going to be Trishan Gore. Trishan Gore is coming off of a submission win. He did get knocked out by, what's his name? Oh, yeah, he got knocked out by Brundage. Man, that's... Yeah, this fight's a little questionable, but a nasty knockout, too. I remember watching that. And he lost the battle. But Battle's fair, honestly. Battle's doing a pretty good run right now. But he beat Josh Frem by submission. Pretty solid. The loss to Brundage, we'll call it a fluke. But we're gonna go with Trishan Gore, probably by decision, potentially by submission. Moving on. Pick's gonna be Trishan Gore. Cody Stamann versus Damon Blackshear. This one's kind of fun, to be honest. I know Cody Stamann. He ain't really doing much in the UFC, to be honest. He's kind of just a guy that everybody has on their record beating him a little bit, but he's not bad. Cody Stamann's not bad, and Damon Blackshear just got flatlined in his last fight against what's his name? The guy who's in the rankings now. I forget his name. I'm forgetting the names tonight, honestly. It's late night. I like doing these videos late night, but I always be forgetting the name. Jackson. He's coming off that knockout loss to Jackson, and he also lost to Batista. But I think Damon Blackshear is the faster striker, more athletic. He's got the height advantage, the reach advantage. I think he doesn't have as much experience, but he's a younger guy, and he's explosive. I think he's going to get his striking going. Cody Stamann's kind of an all-around guy, but he really does not have power. Stamann doesn't have enough power to sleep Blackshear, which I think is really his only problem, is Blackshear's got a bit of a bad chin. So, and I just don't think Cody Stamann's going to be able to put that pressure and that power on Blackshear. So the pick's going to be Blackshear, probably by decision. He could maybe find a KO, but Cody Staman's pretty durable. So it's going to be Blackshear by decision. By decision. Moving on, Charles Radke versus Matthew Semmelsberger. Another fun fight on this card. Another amazing fight on this card. Semmelsberger coming off of a few losses. Charles Radke coming off of that nasty body shot knockout from Carlos Prates. So yeah, Charles Radke coming off the knockout loss. Matthew Semmelsberger coming off of a decision loss and a couple losses before that. I think he got knocked out before that as well. Both these guys kind of need a win, so Matthew Semmelsberger has been close to getting a few wins, and he just seems to sell every single time. And I just think he's gonna sell again in this fight, to be honest. I know Charles Radke really doesn't have too many skills. Let's be honest here. I mean, he was going against Prates, and Prates is solid, but even before his couple wins in the UFC, he never really shocked me, and he was never really a guy who I was like, wow, Charles Radke. I'm not shocked by Charles Radke. But in this fight, he's fighting Matthew Semmelsberger. I think this should be an easy fight for Charles Radke, to be honest. If he sells this, just cut this guy. But I think this is a cut one of these two guys. Let's be honest. Let's cut one of these two guys. So yeah, the pick's gonna be Charles Radke. I think he could get a knockout, to be honest. He doesn't have too much power in his hands, but he is kind of crafty. So we're gonna give it to Charles Radke by TKO or decision. Yeah, by KO or decision. Moving on, Aleski Dos Santos versus Zachary Strojan. Never heard about Zachary Strojan before running this video, but I pulled up his stats. He's undefeated. I don't know if I can really rate his fights. He's got a couple wins, 7 wins, something like that. But this is just a case where I'm like, he's showing up, last minute, coming on short notice. He may be undefeated, but the UFC is another level, and I think Dos Santos still has potential to be still inflicting damage and stuff. He lost to Brown last time out, but it was only by decision, and honestly, he was doing okay. I think in this fight he should be able to get the decision fairly easily. He's been training for this, and Zachary's coming in on short notice. So I'm going to go Zaleski Dos Santos by decision. He's got good striking, pretty good wrestling. He'll be able to mix it up, and I think Zachary's going to gas out. So pick's going to be Dos Santos by decision. Moving on, we got Gaston Bolaños versus Cortavious Ramos. What the hell are these names, man? Gaston Bolaños. I think he's coming off of that. Did he come off of a knockout loss? I think he's coming off of a knockout loss. Yeah, knockout loss to Magny. So he's coming off of a knockout loss to Magny. Cortavious Ramos is coming off of a win, I'm pretty sure. And Cortavious Ramos, not bad. I think he's coming off of a win from the Contender Series, to be honest. He's not bad. I think he's got pretty good striking and pretty good wrestling. Gaston he's all right. But I don't know, that last fight, he did not look good. His striking is really, really slow. It's like, it's odd that he's able to throw a jab so slow. And I think Cortavious Ramos is just gonna be on that pace non-stop, pushing his gas tank and testing Bolaños. And I think Bolaños is gonna fold and crumble. So the pick's gonna be Cortavious Ramos. Honestly, I think he's gonna get the knockout. I think Ramos is gonna get the knockout on Bolaños, probably in the second, maybe third, but probably the second. So pick's gonna be Cortavious Ramos. All right, Carolina Kowalkiewicz, what the hell, versus Denise Gomez. right off the bat, Denise Gomez. I don't want to look at this other lady. Right off the bat, Denise Gomez. And I think it's going to be brutal knockout. I'm not going to lie. Denise Gomez looks like a man. She looks like a man. And if you guys know the rule, if a woman looks like a man, she is going to destroy the other woman. There is no MMA math, but this is the MMA math. This is the only case of MMA math, all right? Denise Gomez is going to brutally knock her out or destroy her for 3 rounds straight. One or the other. I don't think Gomez is going to get a submission, but she's got some good power in her hands. Obviously, she does have decent BJJ, but I think she's going to be finding a knockout probably in the second or third. But I mean, it is a women's fight, so we'll see. I don't know. Carolina might be. I don't think she's very chinny, but at the same time, Gomez got power. So, pick's going to be Gomez, probably by knockout decision most likely as well. So, I'm thinking knockout hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see. Denise Gomez is going to be the pick. Moving on to the main card. The main card of this UFC Vegas 100. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. Mansour, undefeated, coming off Dana White Contender Series. Pretty sure he got a knockout, if I'm correct. But Mansour is pretty good. He's got a good amount of power, pretty good speed as well. He does have the height advantage in this one and the reach advantage by a decent long shot. Dusko is coming off of an injury and a bit of a layoff. For those reasons, I'm going to give it to Mansour. But even though this is a middleweight fight, and I think that, somebody could potentially get knocked out, I do think it's going to go the distance. I think Mansour is going to get the decision by just being a bit more active, more ready to go those 3 rounds. And I think he's going to use his jab, keep the distance, and be able to keep Dusko at range and piece him up on the feet. So pick's going to be Mansour Abdul Malik by decision. Moving on, Luana Pinheiro versus Jillian Robertson. I gotta go with the girl Jillian Robertson, Canadian. She's honestly a beast. She's a beast. She's got one of the highest finish rates, I think, in women's UFC fights. And honestly, she's entertaining. She's really fun. I think she's gonna find the finish in this fight. Luana Pinheiro is okay, but she's coming off of 2 pretty rough losses. I think she's coming off a knockout and a submission loss back to back, which is honestly pretty hard to bounce back from, especially in women's MMA. So I think Jillian Robertson is going to be able to find a submission, potentially TKO, probably second or third. The pick's going to be Jillian Robertson for sure. I just think Luana Pinheiro, she's coming off those pretty bad losses, and Jillian Robertson has a high finish rate. I think she's going to be able to find that finish on Pinheiro. So that's going to be the pick. Moving on to Gerald. Oh, let's go. Okay, this is the only fight on the card. Well, one of the only fights on the card where I'm like, you know what I mean? This is like one of the only good fights left on the card because a couple of them got removed. But we got GM3. We got the GOAT. We got the GOAT GM3 versus Rainier de Ridder. All right, Rainier de Ridder. If you guys don't know who he is, he was a champ in 1 championship, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 1 championship. And he's coming off a knockout win. And Gerald Meerschaert, my boy GM3, coming off that submission win over Shabazian, where he fought some adversity. I'll be honest, he fought some solid adversity, but Edmund's pretty shit. I'll be honest, he gassed out for sure and gave that to Meerschaert. But nonetheless, my boy GM3 is back at it, and they're giving him some tough calm. I'm not gonna lie. They do not be blessing up Meerschaert too often. But nonetheless, the boy will hopefully prevail. But for the sake of this video, I'm sorry, GM3. I'm sorry. I can't pick you. I'm going to have to go with Rainier de Ridder. I think Rainer's wrestling's better. I think his striking's way better. I mean, honestly, Meerschaert could potentially expose his striking Very unlikely, but I think De Ritter's wrestling is levels above Mearshardt's. I'm not gonna lie. There is always the potential though that Mearshart does fraud check him because Mearshardt's the goat. He's the goat at that shit. So we'll see. We'll see. He flipped the tides on Edmund Shabazian last fight. So we'll see. But I think De Ritter's gonna find the submission on Mearshart, potentially a TKO. So TKO or submission for Rainer De Ritter. And we'll move on to... Damn, that's crazy. There's no way this is the co-main. Oh my god, this card is so cooked, bro. This card is so cooked, boys. This is like... It's like max cookage, man. Like, not in a good way of cooking. Like, what are we doing? UFC Vegas 100 and this is what we get? Seriously? Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sopaj? Are you kidding me right now? Oh, I'm trying not to crash him. Alright, lock back in. Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sopaj. I think Ricky Turcios should be coming in as the underdog, to be honest. He's coming off that loss to the boy Chiwiwis. You know, he's coming off the loss to Chiwiwis. So, and Bernardo Sopaj, though, coming off of a vicious flying knee from Vinicius Oliveira. If you guys haven't watched that, watch that fight. Oh my goodness gracious. Nasty flying knee. Right at the end of the fight as well, he hit him while Bernardo Sopaj was turning his head or something, and he just got bang, flatlined. So, rough loss for Sopaj, and Turcios coming off the submission loss to Chiwiwis. So both guys need a win here. Honestly, it's a tough pick. I think Bernardo Sopaj has some good wins before he entered the UFC. He did come in on short notice to fight Vinicius Oliveira, and Oliveira is doing pretty well in the UFC right now. So, you know, we'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But Sopaj is really young, but he has a decent amount of experience for his age. He started at a really young age in the regional scene, to be honest, and he fought some older guys when he was... I think he started fighting professionally when he was 16, which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And Ricky Turcios, I just don't think Turcios has the durability or the capability to even want to win. This guy doesn't even want to win, I'm not gonna lie. Turcios be trolling out there, like against Chiwiwis, man. He was trolling. Again, when he fought Ayman Zahabi, he was trolling so hard. He was just trying to get the refs to somehow give him the decision. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Turcios doesn't even want to win like that. And if he wants to win, he wants to win by robbery. He wants to win by a split robbery. So I think Bernardo Sopaj should piece him up and should get the decision. I don't think he's gonna finish Ricky Turcios. Bernardo Sopaj doesn't have too much power in his hands, to be honest, but he's well-rounded. He's very well-rounded. I think he's going to be able to pick Turcios apart, mix in the wrestling, and get the decision. Moving on to the main fight of the card. Finally, the main fight of the card. The GOAT. You already know, the GOAT, Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates. Nah, I'm trolling. Neil Magny is so cooked in this fight. Neil Magny is so cooked in this fight, boys. Like, I honestly feel bad for Neil Magny. Why can I not do this? Okay. I honestly feel bad for Neil Magny. I'm gonna pop up a picture of Neil Magny, bro, when they're doing the when they're doing the media day, man. It's honestly a joke, cause like, bro, poor Neil Magny. Like, they're just trying to get this guy at the rankings. Like, I feel for him, low key. They give him who'd they give him last time? Michael Morales. Is it Morales? Yeah, they gave him Morales last time. Got absolutely flatlined. Got flattened out and TKO ground and pounded. And now he's fighting a Carlos Prates, who's coming off of 4 KO wins. And I think this is going to be an even easier fight for Carlos Prates than his fight against the Leech, to be honest. I just don't think Neil Magny has much left. I do know that Neil Magny is the GOAT at losing one and then winning one. This guy has not lost 2 fights straight in a row since 2013. So, do with that as you may. Be careful betting on this fight. but I do not see the Nightmare losing this fight, man. I do not see Carlos Prates losing this fight. If he loses this fight, it might be the biggest upset of the entire year. I'm not gonna lie. But there's absolutely no shot that this guy loses the fight. I'm taking Carlos Prates by KO, probably in the second round. I think Magny will be able to make it out the first round, but after the first, he's cooked. He's straight cooked. Carlos Prates via Siggy, you know. But yeah, that's really the whole card. There's not much else to be said. Pretty shit Vegas 100 card. I'm trying not to shit on it too hard, but they did us dirty with this one. I'm gonna be completely honest. They did us dirty. They did the fighters dirty. How is this the co-main? You know, it's just kind of cooked. Anyways, I don't think I'm gonna be doing a recap of this fight night, unless I want to do a recap of the main fight. But I'm probably not gonna watch this whole fight card. But we'll see. Honestly, we'll see. You know, I'm shitting on it right now, but you never know. There could be a finish in every single fight, and it could be one of the most fun fight cards of the entire year. I can't hate on it too much till we see what happens. But that is the whole fight card. I hope you boys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.